Steal a landmark film in Korea's 19+ category, made an explosive debut, striking the public like a colossal stone thrown into a placid lake. Adapted from true events, every frame depicting the killer's deranged, ruthless methods sends shivers down the spine. Even more chilling is that after his brutal dismemberments, the murderer buried the bodies of those he fancied in his own yard in a macabre bid to sate his unspeakably perverse proclivities. At the outset, Southern Seoul is gripped by panic as, in a very short span, 8 attractive women in their 30s vanish one after another. All disappear mysteriously on rainy days, and according to eyewitnesses, the assailant is a man clad in a black raincoat. Despite a month of exhaustive police investigation, not a trace of a suspect was found, and even less so any sign of the victims' bodies. On another rainy day, as if following a grim schedule, the killer is bound to strike again. Chief Choi, frantic with worry, dispatches officers Tae-soo and Ki-seok to patrol the streets. Yet the pair shirks their duty, casually parking by the roadside to loaf around. Meanwhile, Tae-soo's sister, Soo-kyung, is released from the hospital, elated by a positive pregnancy test and immersed in the joy of impending motherhood. She calls her husband, Seung-hyun, eager to share the good news. But with Seung-hyun working overtime, Soo-kyung begins her walk home alone. As she turns into a deserted alley, a shadowy figure in a black raincoat suddenly emerges and hammers a heavy blow onto the back of her head. In an instant, Soo-kyung is rendered unconscious and is then dragged into an unknown vehicle. Perhaps sharing a silent premonition, Seung-hyun suddenly feels a pang of anxiety and quickly calls Soo-kyung only to discover that she is already unconscious in the assailant's car. The ringing phone startles Kang-chun, who is driving at that moment. He glances at the screen showing the image of the two huddled together and with a scornful smile, casually tosses his phone out the window. Distracted by this loss, Kang-chun inadvertently rear-ends the vehicle ahead. The other driver immediately steps out to inspect the damage, and realizing that his car still carries a fresh prey, Kang-chun quickly swerves and floors the accelerator. The bewildered driver, perplexed by the scene, calls the police. At that moment, Tae-soo happened to be passing through the area and went over to inspect the scene. Judging by the evidence, the fleeing vehicle should have been badly damaged, yet the driver had left without addressing anything, an utterly abnormal occurrence. Soon afterward, Tae-soo discovered a mobile phone lying by the roadside. Recalling the recent series of disappearances involving married women, he immediately called Chief Choi. However, Chief Choi ordered him to continue patrolling and mind his own business, hanging up the phone in evident impatience. Although Tae-soo was usually prone to slacking off, at that moment he resolutely decided to pursue the vehicle. After leaving the crash site, Kang-chun drove his car to nearby Demo Mountain. He parked in a deserted field, opened the trunk, and retrieved an electric drill. Grabbing Soo-kyung by the ankle, he dragged her out the car with the same carelessness one might show when handling a lifeless animal. Kang-chun continued dragging Soo-kyung into the dense forest, his face twisted with malevolent glee. As he felt her warm blood soak his hands, he unexpectedly experienced a perverse thrill, spreading his arms wide. He savored the satisfaction of watching the rain slowly wash away the strange blood from his body after his dismemberment of her. It wasn't until 2 hours later that Tae-soo reached the foothills of the mountain. The only road leading up had become a muddy mess, yet there were 2 distinct tire tracks visible. Tae-soo quickly deduced that a vehicle had gone up and just recently returned. Without hesitation, he suck-slammed on the gas, speeding off in pursuit. At an intersection, they finally spotted a car caked in yellow mud. Tae-soo immediately rushed forward to block its path. Kang-chun remains silent, his hands gripping the steering wheel tightly as he prepares to accelerate. Suddenly, Ki-seok maneuvers his car across the road, effectively cornering Kang-chun. Yet the assailant stays unnervingly calm, wearing the placid mask of an upstanding gentleman. Tae-soo opens the trunk and is immediately hit by a foreboding sense when he sees an electric drill, a saw, and other tools. Hastily, he slides open the back seat and beneath it, discovers a tuft of a woman's hair. As he lightly twirls the strand, crimson blood oozes from it. In disbelief, Tae-soo looks up at the confined Kang-chun, who meets his gaze without flinching, a taunting smile playing on his lips. Soon, the police apprehend Kang-chun and conduct a thorough search of his vehicle. They uncover extensive bloodstains in both the trunk and the cabin, a mixture of 8 different blood types. This irrefutable evidence confirms that Kang-chun is the long-sought killer of these young married women,